And the media firestorm surrounding Herman Cain continues to escalate tonight as there is now word that at least two of his accusers will come together and hold a joint press conference to discuss, quote, the specifics of their allegations. Now, the attorney for Karen Kraushaar made that announcement earlier today.
Last night, Gloria Allred agreed to do a joint press conference with her client. My client has agreed to do a press conference. We're going to reach out to the other women who have made it known that they were sexually harassed by Mr. Cain later today. My client and I believe that it would be helpful to the public in judging this matter to see as many of the women as possible together and hear the specifics.
Now, meanwhile, new details have emerged about Joel Bennett's client. Now, according to the AP, just 3 years after Kraushaar's alleged incident with Herman Cain took place, she complained about a manager at her next job. But as Herman Cain continues to unequivocally deny any and all allegations of inappropriate behavior, members of the media remain undeterred in their efforts to crush his campaign's momentum. And in recent days, many of their attacks have taken on racial overtones. Joining me now is a reaction to this disturbing trend are Niger Innis from the Congress of Racial Equality. He is, by the way, a friend of Herman Cain, and as is Dr. Alveda King, a Gospel of Life associate, the niece of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. So good to see you. How are you?
It's great to see you, Sam.
I'm so glad you could be here. You know, first of all, there was a debate earlier tonight on CNBC. They went after Herman Cain's character in a questioning his character for being president. The crowd universally booed. And then they asked Mitt Romney, and they said, well, you used to run corporations. Would you hire Herman Cain? Booed again. Then they used the phrase, well, let's get back to the economy. The crowd cheers.
Wow.
What does that tell you?
Well, I'm not surprised because Herman Cain continues to show himself to be a leader. He's the first that brought a wonderful plan, 999, that is a good-looking solution to America's economic problems. Yep. And so everybody else scrambled after he put his plan on the table, but America looked into that plan and said there's hope for us here. The 909, even helping those who may be a little less fortunate than some of us right now. But he has a plan definitely to bring everybody else online for a good quality of life, and that's what America wants to hear.
Niger, I want to play for you because there's this question, even before these allegations came up, the most vicious, vile, hurtful, hateful things were being said about Herman Cain. Now, I have a theory. I'll give it to you when we get back. Well, this is before these allegations, things said in the media about Herman Cain.
I think he needs to get off the symbolic crack pipe.
Herman Cain is just the latest incarnation of what is totally false to the needs of our community and the needs of our nation. I think he's a bad apple.
He seems willing to say anything in order to curry white favor.
The people that he needs to win over in order to win a primary, those people do not want to hear from a black man who's aggressive, assertive, angry. They want to hear from a man who's assimilated, calm, measured.
I think that he makes that white Republican base of the party feel okay, feel like they are not racist because they can like this guy. I think he is giving that base a free pass, and I think they like him because they think he is a black man who knows his place.
A black man who knows his place, curry white favor, bad apples, symbolic crack pipe. Before any of these allegations came up, why is Herman Cain such a threat to liberal America?
Well, that's an excellent question. He's a threat to liberal America in the very same way that Marco Rubio, who is Latino conservative, is a threat to liberal America and to the establishment of the Democratic Party, not Democrats, but the establishment of the Democratic Party, in the same way that Sarah Palin was a threat. And in all three cases, what you saw was not a debate of the issues, not a debate on their ideology or their policies, like 999, which Alveda brilliantly said just totally changed the discussion and dominated the discussion around having comprehensive tax reform. They went to character assassination. And the reason is this, John. that Herman Cain as a black conservative, Marco Rubio as a Latino conservative, Sarah Palin as a conservative that is a woman, is an existential threat to the psychology of victimization that holds the liberal establishment and the Democratic Party establishment together. If Herman Cain is Clarence Thomas on steroids, because what they will always say about Clarence Thomas is that, well, he was appointed. Condoleezza Rice, Colin Powell, brilliant leaders at their time, were appointed. Herman Cain is getting votes. He's out there getting, tapping into the will of the American people. They're afraid of him.
They're afraid because it destroys the narrative, a false lie that has been advanced for years, that conservatives are racist. It shakes this to its core. All right, now, Vita, let me throw this to you. And your uncle.
Yes,
Martin Luther King Jr. talked about a colorblind society, judging people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. Words that resonate with people of goodwill around the world, right? These are the examples of the outrageous rhetoric. This is just one network. NBC, I wonder if Brian Williams is proud of his network. One network, and the things they have said since these allegations came up.
We're going to see how open the GOP is to this their new black friend when they find out that he's harassing blonde women as opposed to black women. That sort of thing of black sexuality, predatory black sexuality.
Look, I think it'll be interesting to see if these guys rally around Herman Cain with as much veracity as they have over the last couple of weeks, now that it's clear, to Tore's point, that a whole other layer of the black sexuality has been infused into this.
It's very jarring for the GOP, for anybody, I think, to see a black man be sexually aggressive in an unwanted way toward a blonde white, especially a blonde white woman.
Does the party now wish he would just go away?
Well, there is no, grand wizard in the party right now who can really force the issue.
New black friend, grand wizard, predatory black sexuality. Blonde. Avita, what's your reaction?
You know what is really jarring to the establishment, to the liberal establishment? What they're seeing is a man who says to all Americans, including African Americans, I want to give you an opportunity. I want to help you fish rather than give you fish sticks. I know that America can be better for all of you. I have a plan that will help us to all prosper. And so what's happening with the liberal establishment, they have to resort to gossip and, just making all these false accusations because they cannot deal with the heavy, wonderful platform that Herman Cain is giving. And, it's a race. I mean, it's a racial issue. Why do they have to point out that these are blonde women? I mean, they're just women. I mean, what's the issue with the skin color of the women? Where does that issue come from?
That's a good point. I want to give you a chance, Niger.
Well, yeah, on the one hand, there's no question that the assassins, the attempted assassins of Herman Cain, definitely did bring this up on the table because it does conjure up that old bugaboo of black men and that stereotype. What they did not realize, though, is they underestimated the decency of the American people. They underestimated the Tea Party revolution that took place and the Citizens' Revolution that took place and the support that they have given to Herman Cain. I have gotten calls, Alvita, I know, has gotten calls from black, brown, white conservatives, Tea Party members, constitutional conservatives. Some of them support other candidates. Not all of them support Herman Cain, but they know what's going on here. And I wish establishment types like Karl Rove and others would realize, would follow the lead of the grassroots. They know what's going on here. They know that this is not just an attack on Herman Cain. This is an attack on the entire conservative movement.
This is the civil wrong leaders helping to try to do character assassination. Herman Cain is still very steady, very focused, moving right ahead, not attacking his accusers, but just continuing to tell the truth.
Thank you both, and Niger, I know you changed your schedule around to be with us. Avita, it's so good to see you. You know when I was in Atlanta.